47 is the magic number that Joe Biden has got to hit. 47 federal judge openings he's got to get filled. There are 17 coming out of committee right now this week. And I want that Senate, and so do you, to work overtime, the Democrats there, to confirm those 17 and the next 30. I'm Michael Popok. You're on the Legal AF YouTube channel. We can't do it without you. I thank the 33,000 people that found us after the election. We got to lean forward together, and you can do it by hitting the subscribe button. Let me tell you why this is so important. You got Donald Trump on the other side and the Republican leadership saying that under no circumstances are they going to support voting for any of these 47. Now, Donald Trump, he got 14 of his done when he lost in the waning days in his lame duck Senate. But he doesn't want that to happen again. And he looks and salivates at those 47 openings, including one at the circuit court, the highest appellate court level, the First Circuit, that sits over Massachusetts and Rhode Island and the rest. And so he wants them, and he's given the instructions. And you know him, he's vindictive. He's going to squeeze every body part he can on the senators to make that happen. Democrats have to fight back. They have to have political will. What gives them political will? You, me, the Legal AF audience, the Midas Touch audience. Go to your local senator. Tell them, if they're Democrat anyway, tell them to work overtime. To say goodbye to their families, take an overnight bag and a toothbrush, and get to work. There is no more important thing, in my view, for the future of America than to make sure that Joe Biden overcomes the advantage that Donald Trump had in total number of judges. Donald Trump got 234 federal judges put into place. Joe Biden, 213. And Donald Trump has the advantage of the amount of appellate court judges and, of course, the United States Supreme Court. But if Joe Biden can get these 47, he will surpass Donald Trump. It's that important. We've got to have 260 Biden judges for the next 20 years or so in lifetime appointments, because there's going to be a lot of lawsuits. And I want them in front of confirmed judges appointed by Joe Biden and Barack Obama and Clinton. There's going to be 1,000 lawsuits being filed by attorney generals in different Democratic states, by public interest groups, by the AFL, by the ACLU, by the Planned Parenthoods of the world, by the NGOs and the public interest groups. We need favorable judges. The more, the merrier. And put them on a fast track to being elevated when we retake the White House. That's got to happen now. And just as hard as Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all the people around him are jumping up and down on social media to activate social media, we've got to be just as strong. We've got to be just as vociferous. We've got to be just as energized. Call your senators. Write your senators. We need them to have the moral backbone, the steel rod shoved up their backside to make them work for us. Let them never forget that. The time for hand-wringing and boo-hoo-hooing about what happened on Tuesday is over. We got work to do in the lame duck session. And I said I'm going to be back here on a regular basis because this is so important. And your role in this is so important. We can't do it without you. Otherwise, it's just me talking into a microphone and a piece of plastic made by Apple. It's important. Hit the streets. Hit the marketplace of ideas, hit social media, hit your senator. Hit them up and tell them that you oppose any delay in confirming Joe Biden's federal judgeships. Because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to give you the Hellscape scenario. They don't do this. And there are 17 that are up out of committee. It starts in the Senate Judiciary Committee with a vote. You have to get voted out of committee as a candidate. Some don't. Some die in committee, as they say. If you get voted out for a committee, you go to a full floor vote of the Senate. Here's the problem for the Democrats. They're held together with chewing gum and toilet paper in terms of their majority. They have the slimmest of majorities. Part of their majority is like Cinnamon and Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin has already said if the opposite party opposes a candidate, the Republicans, he's not going to vote to confirm. So now we got to play the numbers game, because if the Republican, you got to pick a day when there's like less Republicans there so that they get the majority vote and they don't get a lot of Republican votes. I mean, this is what Joe Manchin, who thankfully is not gonna run for Senate ever again, not as a Democrat, has left us with. And this is the problem. We're holding this together with Scotch tape and duct tape. This lame duck session. There's a number of these senators who are going to be voting in lame duck who already lost or have already announced their retirement. I don't care. Kamala Harris, president of the Senate for tiebreakers, pitch a tent. Okay? You got a job to do besides vice president. You got this job to do. 47. Write it down. Write it in your palm. Go figure out on the internet who your senator is. And if you live in a Democratic state where one or both of them are blue, get them off their ass to work for you. I don't know how to put this any better. We're on a battlefield right now, and we stand opposed. This is a contact sport. Participatory democracy. Can't do it from your couch. You can't do it from the sidelines. You got to be in this game. And that's for the senators, the Congress people, the lame duck Senate, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and us. 47. I'm going to keep reporting on it. I feel like, Jessica Chastain in Zero Dark 30, where she kept writing with a grease pen on the window of her boss how many days they haven't gone after Osama bin Laden. 27, 112, 222. And the boss just rolled his eyes. Well, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to keep writing. And when the number drops and they got some confirmed, I'll come back and say it's 40, it's 29, it's 18. The more federal judges we have, the less influence Trump has. He's already going after, you wouldn't even know there's hundreds of federal judges because MAGA just files in 3 or 4 separate courts for 3 or 4 judges. That's all they want. But there's hundreds of other judges. Yeah. I've said this before. It's hard to believe based on how the Republicans play this game and literally play a game to win, that 81% of the federal judiciary was not put on the bench by Donald Trump. Only 19% of the judiciary is Donald Trump. Now he's going to try to triple that number and make it 50 or 60% by the time he's done. But, there's Reagan still. There's Obama, of course. There's Clinton, yes. There's Biden, yes. And there's Trump. But the older generation is dying off and going into senior status. When you hit 70, you go into like senior status, even though it's a lifetime appointment. And so we don't want to give him, Donald Trump, an additional 47. I've said this before. It's like starting a basketball game and you come out and you go out for the jump ball. It's 2 teams. Game just started. Everybody's shaking hands. And you look up at the scoreboard and the other team already has 47 points. Like, how am I going to win this game? And that's the point. And the Republicans are always better with sharper elbows than we are. But we got to change that now for our survival. They got 14 of theirs in their lame duck session. Get 47 of ours in. I don't know what you were doing all this time. See, the problem is because of the fragility of our majority position, it was harder to get these things confirmed and out of committee. Kamala Harris is running back and forth for tiebreakers all the time for judges. It was harder, but that's what America gave us last time. A slim majority in the Senate, didn't give us the House at the time and the presidency. And now look where we are. So I'm going to continue to follow it right here on Legal AF. Take a moment. Now is the time to lean in with us, link arms with us, be on Legal AF. As I said, no more important thoroughfare than the intersection of law and politics, and you're here for it. I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button. Tune into Legal AF, the podcast, Wednesday and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Midas Touch Network, and everything here that we're doing every hour on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. I'm Michael Popok, and I am reporting. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.